Iran said it breached the 2015 nuclear deal's limits on enriched uranium. It is the first intentional violation of the accord and the strongest signal yet that Iran is moving to abandon the limits and restore the far larger stockpile. Joining us now is Path Trading Partners, Bob Iaccino. It's good to see you, Bob. I am curious, the price of oil going up today, is it reaction to this or the fact that Europe said, bad, 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 we're not going to do anything?
I really think it's more the optimism that we got in the stock market from the trade truce than the Iranian deal. The Iranians going against a deal that really no longer exists in my mind. I don't see there as being any deal anymore. We're back to zero with Iran. You can take that from a political perspective how you want, but from a perspective of crude oil supply, Iran can only temporarily interrupt crude oil supply, and we saw that in the crude oil volatility, hovering at high levels, but not at record levels. This is very similar in my mind to 2001, 2002, 2003, when we saw terrorism crush the stock market, but it was lower and lower of a crush of the stock market each time. Unless Iran does something very serious on a military level in the Strait of Hormuz, crude oil price is going to react more to supply and demand, and the potential for the OPEC production cut to be extended, which I think it will. I think that's why crude oil on the WTI side at least pulled above 60.
I'm wondering, Bob, how you think Iran is going to react if that long-term charter agreement between OPEC and those non-charter partners essentially goes through, gets approved. Iran has said that they are not in favor of the deal, yet they do still want to maintain a membership in OPEC. What do you think is the path forward for them?
Well, I think that's a very interesting little twist. Iran is in favor of the production cut extension. Their oil minister said as much this morning. But Russia didn't agree to the last production cut. They exceeded it by quite a bit when you did take the totality of the months that they exceeded. So if Iran actually gets their way, it'll be more a path for Iran to get their oil to market through some of these non-OPEC partners. And I believe that's where their opposition to that sort of charter comes. I think OPEC Plus is much more powerful than OPEC, and we're looking at a shrinking window of any of those countries doing really anything about the oil price, as long as there continues to be an increase in production here in the U.S., of which we've seen another 100,000 barrel increase in the 4-week moving average as of last week. 12.3 million barrels a day now. That's the 4-week moving average. So that's steady production, and that's with rig counts not really moving up. So you're probably going to see CapEx here in the U.S. That's where I think that key comes in. If Iran can actually get any progress on that situation, to me that means Iran's going to have a market for their crude oil, and it might actually hit prices a little bit.
Bob, certainly today we got an ISM report, pretty much stunk. The China data has started to, for lack of better words, collapse. Are we looking at oil this summer potentially hitting, say, high 30s?
I think the production cut's kind of the key here. And again, the U.S. seems to be, you look at the U.S. companies, they will sell their oil at whatever price. They've proven that out now. So they're going to continue to produce. So if they don't actually agree to this production cut, yes, I think you're absolutely right. EU's PMI, 47.6. That's the lowest since 2013. So how there's optimism on demand with the trade talks continuing, with a tariff truce, as opposed to any sort of deal. And then even if we get a deal, we have to see what the deal looks like. Is it a good deal? Is it a bad deal? Is it a productive deal? Is it a deal that commences in 2025, as some people have speculated? I think we're looking at lower oil prices in the medium term. In the short term, though, they're going to hold in until we're done with this OPEC meeting.
All right, Bob Iaccino, thank you very much for joining us on The Move. We're going to turn our attention right now to Facebook.